بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome dear students. This is Miss Layla Al-Jahani. Inshallah, today we will continue our unit Drive Slowly. Today we will cover two lessons, inshallah. Lesson 5 and 6. We will cover the listening and pronunciation, inshallah. Before we start, let's recall what we covered in our previous lesson. In our previous lesson, we covered language and context. We talked about aggressive drivers. How do we know that the characteristics and the qualities of aggressive driver, and what should we do when we encounter one, when we see one, when we are driving? What should we do, and the things we should do and shouldn't do? Okay, inshallah, today by the end of our lesson you will be listening to specific information in a conversation about driving. We will hear a conversation about driving and we will answer questions based on the listening. Also, you will be able to pronounce the vowel a, the schwa. We call this sound schwa, in should and must. Okay, how do we pronounce it? Okay, before we start, I gave you a homework, page 98. Do you remember? Can you open your books, page 98, and let's do the grammar together. Before we do the grammar, I just summarized how do we spell the adverbs. Okay, if we change, as we said, we change the adverbs originally from adjectives. We change the adjectives to adverbs. So if the adjective, sometimes when we have it like fast, we don't change anything. The adjective and the adverbs are the same. When it ends, like fast, okay? Also, sometimes we change it, totally change it. Like if the adjective is good, we change it to will, okay? This is an exception. But normally, we only add ly to the adjective. We change the adjective, like quick, we add ly, quickly. Slow, slowly. We just add ly to change the adjective into adverb. This is the normal case, okay? But sometimes we have an adjective ending with l, okay? Ending with l, like special, okay? It ends with well, l. What should we do? What should we do? We double the l and add y. We double the l and add y. So we say specially, okay? طيب, what if the adjective ends with le? What should we do? We remove the e and we just add y, like terrible, terribly, okay? We remove the e and we add y. طيب, what if you miss, it ends with y? What should we do? We remove the y and we add ly. ly, like crazy, crazily, okay? طيب, sometimes the adjective ends with ic, like realistic. We change it, we add al and ly, double the l, double ly, like realistically. Realistically, when it ends with ic, we add double l and y. This is, in general, the rules for changing adjectives into grammar, into adverb, okay? For our homework, we have this question. Read the description of 6 different drivers. We have a description of 6 drivers. We have to complete the description with the appropriate adverbs of manner. So here we have, these are adjectives. We have to change it into adverbs of manner. We have to use these adjectives in the box, change it to adverbs of manner, then we use it in the descriptions, okay? طيب, we change it. Aggressive became aggressively. We just added ly. Dangerous, dangerously. Fast, fast. We didn't change anything. Hard, hard. We didn't change anything. Proper, properly. We added ly. Reckless, recklessly. ly. Slow, slowly. ly. Okay? We just added ly. So we change it to adverbs of manner. Now we have to use it correctly in the sentences. These are the sentences, 1, 2, 3. Mr. Nasser never drives over the speed limit. He often drives under it. He drives very what? Which adverb of manner should we use? Okay. Number 2, Tariq never drives under the speed limit. He often drives over it. He drives very, what should we put? Slowly, fast, tell me, okay? 3, Khalid spends many hours with his driving instructor. He has taken the driving test 3 times. He hasn't passed it yet, but he is trying very what? Okay, also 4, Tom has been a driver for just a year and he has already been in 6 accidents. He caused these accidents by driving what? Slowly, do you think? No, what do you think? Which adverb of manner should we use? 5, new drivers need to learn how to drive what? Okay. Look at the table we did together. We changed the adjective and adverb of manner. Think where should we put the adverb of manner, and let's see the answers together. So for number 1, we wrote slowly. Number 2, fast. Number 3, hard. Okay. 4, dangerously and recklessly. 5, properly. The word is properly. These are the answers for page 98. The second exercise we have in the same page, we have read the story, rewrite the numbered sentences. We have sentences in numbers and it's highlighted, as you can see. Also in your book it's in bold, you can see it. So these sentences we have to change it, we have to use the adverbs of manner. Here they wrote it using adjectives describing a noun. We have to change it to describe a verb using adverbs of manner. Okay? They give you example. I'm a good driver. This is the example. How did they change it? The example here. I'm a good driver. I drive well. I drive well. طيب, what about the other ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you haven't done it, please pause the video. Try to change these statements into using adverbs of manner, and let's see the answers together. So for number 1, the students are here because they drive dangerously. We used the adverb of manner, dangerously. I'm here because I'm slow driver. I'm here because I drive slowly. Number 3, but he drives fast. He drives fast. Number 4, I like to do everything properly. Okay. Number 5, so I work hard in this class. The adverb is hard. Okay. 6, the last sentence, I've learned that driving slowly isn't the same thing as driving carefully. Okay, so we have slowly and carefully. Okay, this is how we change statements that use adjectives to statements that use adverbs. Okay, now let's move on to our lesson, page 16. Inshallah, today we will cover the listening and the pronunciation. صح? If you can open your books, page 16, you can see a picture with 2 men. What do you notice about the men on the pictures? One is an old man, not very old, he's a mature man, and the other one is a bit younger, صح? Okay, so when you're looking at the pictures and one of them is pointing and telling him what to do, صح? As you can see. طيب, let's read this statement. Listen to Brandon. So, Brandon, he is the one holding the steering wheel, صح? Brandon is having a driving lesson. What do we mean about driving lesson? Have you ever been in a driving lesson? Do you drive now? I think you're a bit young to drive now, but have you ever had a driving lesson? Did anyone taught you how to drive? If this happened, inshallah, I think around 16, you will be able to learn to drive. Then you will be able to drive when you are 18. You're still young. So in a driving lesson, usually the learner is behind the wheel and he tries to drive and he gets the instructions from the instructor, from his instructor. He tells him where should he turn, where should he stop or she stop, okay? Mark the things he does right or wrong. So we have a table in our book. You have to put a tick on the things he did right and a tick on the thing he did wrong. You have a right column and wrong column. Okay, we will see it together. Okay, so from the picture and from this statement, we know that this is a driving lesson. He is not a professional driver. Are they related? Are they related? Do you think the driver and the instructor related? No. Yes, I agree. They're not related. I think one is the teacher. He's teaching him how to drive. They are not related. Okay? So it's a driving lesson and we have to fill out this table. We have number 1, start the car. Did Brandon start the car correctly or in a wrong way? So if it's correct, the way he started the car, you put a tick here. If it's wrong, you put a tick here. How would you know? From the listening. We will listen to the text together, okay? Number 2, hold the steering wheel. Did he hold it properly or he is reckless? What do you think from the listening? What did the instructor tell him, okay? Number 3, obey the speed limit. The speed limit, was he fast or slow? Or was he following the speed limit? From the listening, you will be answering that. The way he parked the car, when he stopped the car and parked, did he park in a good way, right or wrong? Okay, heard the text together. We heard it once, okay? I will ask you this question. How do you think the student feel after his lesson? How do you think Brandon feels? Does he feel confident he will pass the driving lesson? Or he feel scared? If you are in his place, how would you feel? Yeah, me too. I would be terrified. I would be terrified. But inshallah, with practice, when you're driving, you will be much better. If you haven't answered this text, it's okay. We will hear it, inshallah, again. Let's hear it together. Bismillah.
Very well, Brandon. Please start the engine. Now I'd like you to drive carefully along this road until we come to the traffic light.
Should I turn left or right at the light?
I'll tell you when we get there. Brandon, you must hold the steering wheel with both hands.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you know how fast you're going?
I don't know. I can't take my eyes off the road.
Well, you're doing 40 and the speed limit downtown is 25. You must slow down. Look out.
Oops, I'm sorry.
You almost hit that car. Please stop there, on the right. Very good, Brandon. Now, I want you to park properly. Slowly, Brandon.
That was good, wasn't it?
Phew. Parking was the best thing you did in more ways than one.
Okay, we heard the text again. Okay, what do you think the instructor said when he started that? Did he give him any comments? Did Brandon do it right or wrong? What did the instructor said when Brandon started the engine? He turned on the engine, started the car. What happened? Did he do it right or wrong? Put a tick on the thing he did right. What about the steering wheel? The instructor said something about the steering wheel. صح? Wheel. He said, hold the steering wheel. He told him that he should do it. So he did it right or wrong? Put a tick, okay? The speed limit, he said the speed limit is 25 and Brandon was going 40. So, did he obey the speed limit? Yes or no, right or wrong? What about the parking? He mentioned, at the end, they talked about the parking. Did he do it right or wrong? Let's see the answer. So, starting the car was right. Holding the steering wheel was wrong. Obey the speed limit was wrong. And parking was right. Just put a tick next to the proper space in the table here we have. Okay, now moving on to pronunciation. Okay, we finished the listening, we answered the question related to the listening. Now moving on to pronunciation, listen, notice the vowel sound of schwa in should and must. We call it a schwa, this sound. What does it mean? It's like a. When you say a car, a book, the a sound, we call it schwa, okay? So here we pronounce the a sound in these words, should and shouldn't, must and mustn't, okay? When they are pronounced quickly, when you pronounce these words quickly and practice, you should obey the driving laws. You should obey the driving laws. You must obey you must be 18 to get a license. You shouldn't pass on the right. You mustn't go over the speed limit. So when you pronounce these in a fast way, you don't say you should. You just at the end you say you should. You should. Okay, it's like a at the end. A schwa sound. Try to practice these statements. Read it out loud in a fast way. I have also here these statements. You should read it to have more practice. Let's read it together. You must stop at the traffic light. You should drive under the speed limit. You must not park on the sidewalk. You should eat when you're driving. You shouldn't ride your bike here. You must not litter. You shouldn't swim here. You shouldn't use your cell phone here. You mustn't feed the squirrels and pigeons. Okay, so when you pronounce it quickly, try to practice more to hear the a sound. When you read should, shouldn't, must, mustn't, it's pronounced with an a sound at the end. Okay. Now let's recall what we covered today. In our lesson today, we listened to a conversation between Brandon and his instructor in a driving lesson. He was testing him to drive, and we answered questions related to the listening. We differentiated between the things he did in a right way and the things he did in a wrong way. Also, we covered the pronunciation, how you pronounce should and shouldn't, must and mustn't when you are pronouncing it in a sentence in a quick and a fast way. This is what we covered in our lesson today. That's it for today. Inshallah, I will see you next class. Thank you for listening.